Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 10 Minutes Astrology. How's your holiday season until the new year?
Yeah. Hello,
Uh,
everyone. Hello, Rod.
Hello, Alejo. How are you?
I'm good. How's everything?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue our retrograde journey. Today, we're
Hmm.
going to focus on the Neptune retrograde. It is very interesting for such a planet which is usually related to abstract, intangible
Hmm.
to perform during the retrograde.
Yeah. Well, I would also think about this idea of, if Neptune is about perhaps escaping from the world, connecting with something
Mm,
higher, I would say that when it goes retrograde, this sense of escapism goes within. So connecting very deeply with one's own inner world, one's own inner imagination, feelings, emotions, visualizations, yes. Um, and perhaps there's a kind of heightened sense of compassion and sensitivity, um, because it's like the inner, it's like the inner structure is kind of really, really resonant with
mm.
the outer world. I don't know.
Wow, I think it's very interesting to talk in this way, as long as it's not just as simple as a um um Neptune is a fantasy and imagination, and Neptune retrograde people has no imagination. I think that is too simple. But if we look,
Mm.
I mean, some people will explain it this way. I was just like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and I would even say it's the opposite. They have a huge level of imagination. Maybe they don't need to express it out there to show it to other people.
Honestly, yes.
And maybe their sense of imagination is creative, is different to what most people are used to.
Beautiful. That is one way to treat a retrograde planet. Um, what Alejo is saying is they don't follow the mainstream. Their
Yeah.
imagination, their fantasy, their vision are they have their own. They develop their own. That's another way and a very interesting way to see the retrograde planet. And from that view, you are allowed a lot of things to happen. And that is a magic of a retrograde planet. And then for stationary, let me say the stationary Neptune would be really focus on the vision, focus on the idealism, or maybe they have a huge imagination and their passion and their vision is that they are kind of really uh, dedicate their life or their time on this subject. Could be art,
Hmm.
could be movie, could be image, but it could be also some idea.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It could be also something spiritual, a
Uh,
connection with something
yeah,
greater, dissolving
yeah,
into something greater.
definitely. Well, should we do a case study?
Yes, it's a very controversial case study that we have today.
Tell us more.
So Lord Byron, who has Neptune stationary. So again, like we were saying the other day with Uranus, this is even more important than being retrograde because it's
Mm,
retrograde for so long, but
yeah,
stationary only for a few days. So if you are born with Neptune stationary, it's really something that makes you stand out
yeah.
from the rest. And in this case, well, we know his it's in the fifth house, and we know all of the love affairs he had, both with women and men, and how problematic this was in his life. They say he was extremely attractive. He was
Ah,
extremely seductive. So I think this
ah,
idea of being an enchantment, this idea of enchanting with the Neptune stationary, becoming one of the themes in his life, being able to enchant others with his
uh-huh.
creativity. But we know Lord Byron, especially because he's a poet and he's one of the main poets of Romanticism, British Romanticism.
Romantic.
Um, Romantic, yes, a fifth house again. And also Neptune, Romanticism has a lot to do with Neptune because Romanticism is a creative movement that it's based on imagination and creativity, idealism and longing. This idea of escaping from reality because the real world is too harsh, it's too hard, Also, perhaps the idea of emotional depth. It's very present in romanticism, a sense of extreme sensitivity. And romanticism, I think it also has some layers of spirituality and mysticism. So this Lord Byron being one of the most iconic figures of it, having Neptune stationary in the fifth, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially his stationery of a Neptune is not only in his mind and about his literature study also, and his I mean his work, amount of work, but also until his and also include his life. You mentioned about a love story. I cannot ignore to look at that Neptune has a kind of a grand trine, not really, but at least trine Venus and Saturn. And also, I don't think I should count it as grand trine if there's a south node there. But some people will maybe say that's a air grand trine. That's a very interesting. But also, I just read the story that he was passionate about the great independent movement during that time, and he kind of dedicated everything for that. You can really see that Neptune how they burn for that.
Yeah, for their beliefs, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Thank you, Alejo. I think this is a very interesting case, especially I think more and more you mentioned the word. Well, because for outer planet, they move so they spend a long time in the retrograde motion. The they have probably not huge differences between their direct motion or retrograde. I shouldn't say that, but that that stationary of outer planet make it stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are not huge differences between the direct and retrograde in a natal chart.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
because you're a
in the natal
mundane
chart.
astrologer, I think
Yeah,
that's why you said that I shouldn't say that because, okay, mundane astrology, maybe it's different.
we see it a slightly different way. Yes, but
Yeah.
I think the stationary is always a focus moment. Doesn't matter from the natal chart or
Yes.
mundane astrology. That period, that
Yeah.
time is so unusual. Would be so unusual. Yes. Well, thank you, Alejo. Today we talk about the
Thank you.
Neptune retrograde and the stationary. Next week we will talk about Pluto and then Chiron. Then we will start our transit journeys.
Yeah.
Can't
Here we go.
wait. Okay, thank you, Alejo, and thanks everyone. Please like, subscribe, and share our 10 minutes of astrology. See you next time. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.